Well, here we are with another daily blast from Santa Anita, and this one is from Saturday, the 23rd of October, 2021. And these are the at-home horse player Ability X ratings for that day. And what I wanted to highlight on this example is a lot of people email to me and ask me, what is it that really sticks out to someone who has learned all the good ways and what Ability X ratings is actually meaning and telling them. What is it that just kind of attracts their attention at first to have a situation where they know to look or focus in on one particular horse as opposed to 2, 3, or 4 horses? Or what is it that tells them initially that a race has a great potential for betting this particular race, but not those races? What is it that these people are able to see, or what sticks out to them? And that's a good question, but I can of course tell you the thing that sticks out to me, and I assume it's a lot of the same things that stick out to other users of Ability X ratings, because these things are what Ability X ratings was designed to show and to highlight to the user and potential bettor of horse racing. So much more than just the usual worn out old form of past performances. So we'll start right out on this day, and of course, we're looking at the first 4 races right here, and yes, the simple pick and the key horse. Simple pick in red and is the fast horse in the field, and the key horse in orange is usually the classier horse in the field, and usually it has a low rating, and perhaps or often the lowest rating of the bunch, run rating that is, such as we have here in the first race. And very quickly, an experienced Ability X ratings user will take those two into consideration along those lines. And now, a typical Ability X ratings user has usually learned that speed is often a loser. And if that is the only quality that the horse has, high early speed, it's more likely a loser than is a winner right off the bat, because that person has discovered the realities of horse racing way, way more than a form handicapper has. You'll find plenty of form handicappers that say, I've been doing this for 50 years and this here is the fastest horse. As if that really means that this horse is really more likely to win than the other horses because it's so fast. Most Ability X ratings users have learned that is just kind of a pie in the sky fairy tale and myth that form handicappers like to talk about in their efforts to get you to bet a loser, while they hopefully can bet a winner. That's basically what's going on with form handicapping and the whole idea of it, and that entire format of past performances. That's what it's about, to get you to bet on just a basic single facet of ability. Oh, the horse is fast. Okay. The horse is fastest. Well, great. Doesn't really mean much. But you're much better off to consider several things as far as whether you want to actually bet perfectly good money on a horse. And so there's that example that's going on all of the time. And it doesn't take people very long to learn about it if they have a format that shows the horse's ability overall to run the distance today, like Ability X Ratings is, and what it's for, and what it's about. But to get back to this first race, this simple pick does have a rating that, considering the ratings of the other horses in the race, might put number 2 in nice shape for running this distance today with these other horses. And the early speed of this last race, and this is the last race, would suggest that if the horse can do this kind of run at this kind of early speed today with these other horses here, this horse may well be able to just walk away with the win. And it does. And of course, you have other things you can take into consideration, like the fact that enough people realize this and are able to analyze this in that light to bet this horse down from 6-1 morning line to 5-2. Okay? And while the horse is out there on the track looking very sharp and warming up well and all of those other positive signs that say to you, hey, the stable is going to try to win this race. Okay? If you have that also, well, you may have a good bet on your hands. And it may make the most sense to you to bet this number 2 simple pick horse in this race, and it's a winner, 5-2 odds. Nothing wrong with that. And then, of course, in the second race, we have the first of 2 Ability X Ratings key horse simple pick exactas. Of course, the key horse is 1-1, even money in the morning line, and number 1 is 2-1. And it gets bet down quite a bit, I assume, from the payoffs, which are very short. And I would think this exacta doesn't pay much. So it may be an example of that race where, yeah, you can easily see what's going on and what's likely going to happen in this race, but the odds are kind of prohibitive on all the horses. So the better might just pass this race just as fast as any other. And actually, a lot of bettors want to pass every race. They don't want to bet on a horse. They check every race out with the idea, I don't want to bet on a horse race. So I am allowing for, if the ability of the horses convinces me that I should bet on one of them, I'll do it. They may even be able to convince me I might want to bet 2 or 3 or 4 horses in this race in an exotic bet. And the experienced and better of horse races is always open to that. Always open to be convinced, but that individual usually insists on quality information to convince him. And it doesn't get any more quality or of higher quality with Ability X ratings, because there you have a number that reflects the horse's ability to run around this track today in this race. With the other horses, where you can see that same information right there in this one single column. High speed, high early speed, low early speed. From high to low, there they are. Do you want to make a bet or not? It's very, very simple. And we get the full impact of that when we have a race such as the 4th race here, where that same quick look down the line of ratings in that one single column, and only 5 horses in this race, but instantly our eyes are drawn to number 3, the par rated horse. Just 1 point higher in early speed than the par, which is the average winner's rating and early speed here. The composite would be 290, because the composite just adds these two together. And if we look in the composite column, we find that there is one horse that is 1 point away from the par composite. So takes about 5 or 6 seconds maybe for the better to say, hey, you know what? I want to look at this horse on the track during the post parade and the warm-ups, because I want more information on this horse. Because if I can get that more information, and that more information is positive, I would like to bet on this horse. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. That's what's going on. That's what it's about. A horse crosses my path that convinces me, hey, you probably should bet this horse. That's what a better does. And in this case, we see that number 3 is the only horse in the bunch that is coming off of a race where he stepped it out perfectly, he or she. Almost perfect on the early speed and perfect on the run rating. 100 for the first half mile and 100 for the second half mile of the mile. So, and that just so happens to be the distance that is being run today. So, as we take in the other information, like, hey, is this horse in great physical condition for this race today? And is the horse out there warming up like he's getting ready to participate in the Kentucky Derby today? Is that going on? And does the horse have that determined look on his face? That look that says to you, the better, that this horse would like to get involved in a horse race today, and he would like to win it. Okay? Is he warming up like that, with that sort of attitude? And, you know, a lot of form handicappers give me this garbage that, oh, I'm just not any good at that. Well, if you just practice it for a while, you'd probably be amazed at how good you can be at that. But, like everything else, you really ought to practice it. And as you practice it, you get better and better and better. If you're practicing well and learning from your mistakes rather than just suffering for them, like form handicappers are basically taught to do. But see, what I'm going to do on this example is, hey, let's take a look at how this number 3 runs this race and check it out, because we're thinking from the rating and from the early speed and from everything else, the horse's physical presence being in great shape, the horse's attitude, warm up, that says the stable is trying to win this race, is going to try to win this race. That's what that great warm-up says. And the horse is only 4-1 in the morning line in a race where there's 3 2-1 horses listed here. And this horse is 4-1, and it's exactly the kind of horse, because most form handicappers will figure this horse is slow, that they'll just let him go on the odds. And they do. So let's take a look and see what goes on in that deal.
And they're off. Luck of the Draw is going to the front. Major Cabby on the outside. Mongolian Wind hustled up. Invictitatus at the rail. 4 across the track. Unbroken Star
That's
didn't have the best
3,
of the beginnings,
Luck
but
of
it
the
could be a
Draw.
blessing in disguise. Into the first turn, it's Invictitatus leading it by a head, with Mongolian Wind pressing 2 clear of Luck of the Draw in third. Then comes Major Cabby, 4 off the pace in fourth, and Unbroken Star is at the back. 5 lengths covers the field. Onto the backstretch they go, and Mongolian Wind takes a narrow lead. Invictitatus matches strides, but is now a neck behind second. 2 more Luck of the Draw in third. Major Cabby about 3 off the pace. Unbroken Star in the orange colors inches up to his inside. Less than 3 lengths now covers the group. It's Mongolian Wind with a half-mile left to run. Racing in there was Major Cabby. Major Cabby lost the rider as Unbroken Star makes a decisive move and now goes to challenge Mongolian Wind. Mongolian Wind by a head. Unbroken Star at the rail, and a 3-wide Luck of the Draw neck back third. It's 3 more lengths to Invictitatus with a 1/4 mile to go. On the outside, here's Luck of the Draw traveling kindly. Up to take the lead, Mongolian Wind battling with him, and down at the rail, Unbroken Star. They're a furlong from the finish, and it's Luck of the Draw just in front. Mongolian Wind not surrendering, fighting all the way, and then 3 back to Unbroken Star in third, a 16th to go, and it's Luck of the Draw pulling clear now, and Luck of the Draw far too strong, wins it by 3 or 3.5. Mongolian Wind
Far too strong. And such a smooth and well-performed execution of that mile distance. You don't see, well, hopefully you might see it once or twice a day, but it is one that you want to keep an eye out for. And the big signal, again, is this Ability X rating, 200, early speed, 91, 1 point away from the par composite. The run. It's the run of the horse. And, of course, the key horse was second in that race. And the 2 was the only other horse that was even close to 200 in compared with the other 3. As far as having enough energy to get all the way to the wire, and that is what the better is looking for. And here we're at the page Winning a Living, where you can order the latest edition of Winning a Living, the special edition that includes how to make Ability X ratings for yourself. It is a lone wolf game where you are playing against everyone else, and their wishes for you are that you lose so that they can win. That's always going on. So, Ability X ratings can help you vastly in your efforts to be a better, and that is the button right there.